It's going pretty good. Welcome back, Dumpster Goblins, to the fourth. We're on 4 now, right?
Yeah, I believe we're on 4.
Yep, the 4th episode of another low effort podcast featuring Dan and Trey.
Yep, those are our names. Yeah. So how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I've been a little bit of a busy boy all around. I got back from that leadership retreat I was talking about, and beyond that, I've been watching some things, playing some things. Shadow of Mordor has consumed my life, but...
Yeah, you were talking about that last week.
Yeah, I think I was kind of starting out. I know you asked me last week, but I have a nemesis now.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's killed me 3 times. He's this orc that throws javelins. I can't remember his name, but he has like a torch on his head.
Okay.
So... I really like that part of it. Also, he keeps on showing up at whatever the mission I have to do is.
So he just like kind of pops up every once in a while?
Yeah, I was just doing like some random bow quest or something. Like you can do the quest to power up all of your weapons and items. And he just pops up there just for no reason. I'm like, oh, I don't know if he's like located here or not. But as I start the quest, he's just like, hey, man-filth! And I'm like, fuck. Because he's like really tough too. He has so many strengths.
Yeah, I think I saw like Angry Joe or someone play once upon a time, and I don't know if this happened to you, but have you actually like really killed him ever, but he comes back anyway somehow?
I haven't had that happen with him yet, but I have had orcs that I've killed and they keep coming back. There was one who was like, I think his name ended up like being the Mutilated or something, because I probably killed this guy 3 times.
Yeah, I saw like this one, he like grabbed him and cut his head off and lit him on fire, and then he comes, like, he just comes back later. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and then there's like the time where if you do your whole like read their mind thing, you can not even like, you don't even like break their neck, but you just kind of like tilt their head and it's like, oh, they're back. So... Yeah. I don't know, that's been my nemesis, but I really like that game. It's very Arkham-y, and it's very like fun to pick up and play.
Yeah, I think the cool thing is that they basically created a whole new system for it, so like I thought that was a really cool aspect of that.
What do you mean the whole new system?
Like the Nemesis system is pretty unique. I don't think there's many games that have done anything quite like that before.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, and it's pretty cool. Like, I like the fact that also they have this many, like, I don't know if they're procedurally generated or if they just have a bunch of them, like, saved up in advance, but all of the orcs are always different, even if I keep killing them.
Yeah, I think they are procedurally generated to a point. I think there's, like, styles and, like, name trends that are similar, but yeah. I think the actual orc itself is procedurally generated.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
No, I'd believe it.
I played, like, an hour and a half of that game, so I don't know exactly, but from what I've heard.
I mean, I'd believe it. I've seen a lot of, like, archer enemies that I have, but they're always super easy to kill. But, no, Torchhead McJavelin Thrower has been the bane of my existence.
Goddamn Torchhead McJavelin Thrower.
No, it's seriously, he's the worst.
Yeah, you gotta watch out from him. He's from the books, you know.
Yeah, no, he knows, he gets it.
He shows up and he's like, Gandalf, want to start some shit? And then Gandalf's like, oh, nah, dude.
Nah,
get that shit out of here.
No, yeah.
I don't go like that.
Yeah, no, that is one thing with that game that kind of bugs me though, is whenever they mention anything that shows up like in the books or movies, they're so like tongue or cheek about it.
Oh yeah, like they know they're fan baiting super hard, so they just kind of
yeah. Like they didn't mention Gandalf, but they mention Saruman. You know Lord of the Rings.
Yes, I do.
So they just are like talking, and it's like, oh well, there's Saruman the White, who's supposedly the strongest of the White Wizards, and he leads the White Wizards, which he does, but just the way they talk about him, that's like, yeah, but he is totally a good wizard character guy.
Very
like,
good, and not bad at all.
Yeah,
did I mention he's a good man?
Yeah, definitely not going to be a traitor face.
Donates to charity every Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, so that's really what I've been doing. I've been reading a little bit more lately. Mostly The Disaster Artist. Entirely The Disaster Artist. Right,
because you have to continue your obsession with The Room, right?
It's not even The Room at this point. I need to know more about Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, he is an interesting character, to say the least.
Yeah, I gotta crack the code on him, man. But no, actually reading the book is really, really fascinating. There's a lot they left out in the movie. I'm only about like 6 or 7 chapters into the book, but there's a lot that they left out in the movie. So I don't know. I really like the movie. I can rant or we can talk on the Disaster Artist for a bit.
Let's go for it. I don't think anybody is. I don't think we've talked about that at all. So
yeah, is that topical yet? Because
I mean, I think The Room is pretty. I mean, Tommy Wiseau is pretty topical. I think if the fact that everybody I know can't shut up about him is anything to go by.
You mean me? I can't. I can't.
Well, yes.
Shut up about
you. Other people, I mean, a lot of people.
Garrett, call him out. Garrett, get called out.
Garrett Smith, I swear to God.
Yeah, no, I do love me Tommy Wiseau. So we can talk for the 2 people out there who don't know about The Room now. Yes. So The Room is the best worst movie ever made. I watched it for the first time, I think, my freshman year of college. When did you watch it first?
I saw the first time I saw it was like a Riff Tracks version of it, I think.
That's a good way to see it.
3 or 4 years ago.
That's a good way to see it. I really liked when I watched it, like, kind of, undoctored, so not riff tracks, but it's just an experience because I have so many questions about that movie.
It is a surreal movie. Like, you watch it and you're just like, how did this happen? Like, what series of mistakes led to this? Not
even, like, the series of mistakes parts, but, like, how does Tommy Wiseau, like, just think of this?
Yeah, and how does any, like he just has, and then, like, the more you hear about him as a person, like, the deeper the deeper this rabbit hole goes, and it's oh my goodness, and it is a fantastic bad movie. Like, I mean, I've seen a lot of bad movies. You and me are no strangers to awful cinema, and this one is beautiful. It's a beautiful mess.
I actively seek out terrible cinema, so I understand it, but The Room, that's like, it's a classic. You can't get close to it. But no, so the best worst movie ever made. Everybody kind of knows about the Disaster Artist that's floating around now, which James Franco plays Tommy Wiseau. And I keep on telling people to see it because there's a couple of people I talk to and they're like, yeah, that's a really, like, kind of weird character that they made up for James Franco to play. And I'm like, that's not made up.
That's not made up.
Yeah, that's a real guy.
He actually exists, and he's a real person.
Yeah, definitely real person. And he's just, like, this really fascinating story. So in my digging into Tommy Wiseau, I have found a thing that a lot of people don't know about. We actually watched this, but he made a Hulu original series.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about The Neighbors. I guarantee almost nobody knows about this one. This is
yeah. Yeah, we can talk about The Neighbors. So The Neighbors was a Hulu original series, and I think it was, like, when they first started doing Hulu original series.
Yeah, it was pretty early. I mean, you can tell there's, like, negative production values in this one.
Yeah, and it was, I think, what's the biggest series Hulu even has nowadays? A Mindy Project, probably?
Maybe, I don't know.
Or, no, they have Modern Family, don't they?
Is that Hulu?
I think it's Hulu now.
Okay, I don't think it was always Hulu, was it?
No, it used to be a network show.
Okay.
But, no, so The Neighbors... So the show stars, in true Tommy Wiseau fashion, the show stars Tommy Wiseau playing 2 different roles. Mm-hmm. One is, I don't have the box with me to read off, but one basically manages this apartment complex where all the neighbors live, and the other one is like this Tommy Wiseau in a blonde wig douche character.
And he's like, he's wearing like a sports jacket, and he's just like, I think he's supposed to be playing like a college kid, I believe. Yeah. He's very obviously not a college kid, but...
Yeah, I think on the back of the box they describe him as, like, a hoodlum young criminal thug or something.
Oh, yes, the young hoodlum thug.
Yeah, and then basically the entire series is just, like, this Tommy Wiseau fever dream of characters and plot lines that aren't related to each other.
Can we talk about how the whole first episode, the only plot line in the whole thing was a chicken?
Yeah, the woman was missing her Fifi chicken. Chicken Fifi.
Yeah, her chicken Fifi, and she was very, very angry... because she was screaming the whole episode.
Yeah,
and it was the only threat. Everything else was, like, isolated by these horrible, horrible scene transitions, which I think kind of make the show in a way, because, man, these scene transitions are... Oh, jeez.
Yeah, oh my gosh. No, we can talk about that. That is, of the 2 or 3 things that genuinely confuse me about that show, one is the scene transition. Between every single scene, it's, like, 30 seconds long. Mm-hmm. And, like, some of the scenes are, like, not even a minute long. So this transition is almost as long as them. But there's Tommy Wiseau's sports jacket character dancing in the bottom corner. There's a CGI
basketball
pigeon.
Guy.
Yeah, there's basketball guy. And then there's a CGI chicken that's just sitting there. Oh, and the bald eagle. Can't forget the bald eagle flying across.
Oh,
but there's a CGI chicken, and just every time a Tyrannosaurus Rex comes out, he eats the CGI chicken.
Yep.
And they don't ever.
And it has Tommy Wiseau's laugh too. You can't forget that.
Oh, it does? I didn't even remember
that. Yeah, it laughs at the very end, and it's Tommy Wiseau's laugh.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that. I guess I've just become so numb to that Wiseau laugh.
That is ingrained. It's burned into my mind. I can't get that laugh out of my head.
Oh my god, what a nightmare! But no, this show had like 6 episodes.
Yeah, it had 6 episodes. But going back to that first episode, just for a minute, I guess I have to bring it up. I think it's like the first scene of the movie. This character contemplates whether or not to hang himself, and this is the weirdest shit. Because like he never shows up for the rest of the series. This is the one time you see him. And he's just, like, contemplating whether to hang himself. And I think he's like, not today. And then he just, like, sits down or something, and you never see him again. And this is, like, the most Tommy Wiseau thing.
Yeah, well, no, you see him because Bikini Girl walks to his door to borrow a cup of sugar, which he just has sitting next to his doorway.
Ah, okay, I forgot that scene.
Yeah, I think that was him. But then I don't think you ever see him again. Or if you do, he just kind of fades into the wallpaper.
Oh, yeah, like she does that the first episode, right? And then
yeah,
I don't think he's ever in any of the other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just love the fact that every episode the girls get more and more scantily clad, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's just progressively becomes more and more of a porno as the show goes on.
No, the best description I saw for that show is it's a porno without the sex scenes.
Yep, it is horror. It's a bad show.
It's a bad. Yeah, it is a bad.
Whenever Tommy Wiseau shows his abs, they're photoshopped.
Oh my god, the CGI abs! I was gonna get to that. That's oh my freaking lord.
It's amazing. Their whole office set is just the most beautiful thing because like there are like picture frames with no pictures in them. Like, the phone's obviously not plugged in. Like, it is very obviously they just found some room somewhere and they were like, this is an office, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and what really gets me with that show is, I was going to kind of touch on earlier, but all of the audio in that show is so loud.
Oh, yeah. It's a loud show.
Yeah. And you can just, like, hear them peaking their microphones the entire time. It's gross. Like, all you hear is just, like, eventually they just like you just hear like popping and like as they all start yelling.
It's bad. It's really bad. Tommy Wiseau is a cinematic genius, obviously, but audio is definitely not something he's good at.
Yeah, no. And Hulu again just let this slide. It's not on Hulu anymore too, which I'm kind of confused about.
I mean, they're probably embarrassed.
I mean, they keep other stuff on there still.
I mean, they're probably embarrassed.
True. Or Tommy got upset by it.
Yeah, maybe. When it didn't get an Emmy.
Oh, yeah, he sent it in for an Emmy nomination, too. I forgot that part.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, he I think he sent the last half of the season in for Emmy consideration.
And for what category? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I couldn't find that out. He just said he submitted it for an Emmy.
Is it for best scene transition? Because, man... I think there's more of that than actual plot development. Like there's like half the show is scene transition.
Yeah, there's the things I learned about that poor chicken that gets eaten. Do you think that chicken is the lady's chicken?
I think it's supposed to be. I think that's probably the only clip art you could find of a chicken.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, because I'm pretty sure most of that's just clip art nonsense.
And but
I don't know.
She finds the chicken again, though. Now that I'm remembering.
Yeah, but that's obviously not like actually happening in the show. It's just like some random thing that he's like, oh, okay, this is all relevant to the show. Let's just throw this together in between scenes.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Yeah.
But no, so that's if you really want a cinematic gem, watch The Neighbors from Tommy Wiseau.
If you can find it.
Yeah, if you can find. I mean, I found it on Amazon, and I had to buy 2 copies of the DVD because I gave some to my Mount Pleasant friends. So, congratulations, my Mount Pleasant friends. That's yours now.
Yep. Have fun with that.
Yeah. Well, and then even then, another Tommy Wiseau show we can kind of talk about is the Tommy Wiseau that he did with Machinima.
Which I still I don't know why that exists.
Yeah, that is just another surreal thing. It's a Let's Play channel, essentially. Mm-hmm. But it's framed around this premise that Tommy Wiseau gets abducted by aliens, and they force him to play video games. And it's weird.
It's very confusing. I'm very confused by the whole thing. I don't know why he accepted the job. He obviously doesn't play video games. I don't know why Machinima kept making them, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, well, you know, any press is good press.
He's just so inept at the game, it's not even fun to watch most of the time.
Yeah. No, like, I think it was Duke Nukem, he couldn't figure out how to get out of the starting room.
He couldn't even figure out, he just, like, would stare at the wall or floor, and then the alien, I think he barely got out of the starting room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, man, I'm sure glad, why did they make this? Why does this exist?
So what you're telling me is Tommy Wiseau could never get past the room.
Yep, he couldn't get past the room. He's still on it to this day.
You know, we can talk more about the room, but I think really people have said everything there is to see. Everybody should see it at least once.
Especially if you like bad movies. It's definitely
if you like bad movies. It's an experience. Also, if you can find a theater that's showing it, which a lot more theaters are doing now, it's like a fun time. It's kind of like going to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Have you ever been to that?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, yeah. No, so it's kind of the same thing. People dress up, you throw footballs. Apparently, the movie theater near us here in Lansing gave everybody plastic spoons to throw.
Yeah, and to throw. I think I saw. Did you end up going to that? I know Garrett and John.
I did not. Okay. I know Garrett and John went, and I wish, but I've seen The Room. I watch The Room about once a year for my buddy's Walter's birthday, at least. He watches The Room and Food Fight.
Oh, Food Fight. Oh boy.
Food Fight just makes me upset.
That movie makes me sick.
You can find every time you watch Food Fight, you can find something new to get mad about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we can kind of steer back into talking about The Disaster Artist, if that's all
sure.
right.
No, yeah. Tell me more about the Disaster Artist book. 'Cause I'm genuinely curious as to like what did they leave out of the movie that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there is some parts that got left out. First of all, let me just get a feel. How did you feel about as I know I'm a Room fanatic, not so much. How did you feel about the documentary, The Disaster Artist?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought again, like I said, the mysteries of Tommy Wiseau, I think, are more interesting to me almost than the actual movie itself. Like, just like where does he get his money? Where is he from? Like, how old is he? I think
he hasn't admitted his age. He has admitted lately that he was originally from Poland and then he moved to a town outside of New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just like within the last year or two he admitted he was from Poland. I think it was actually James Franco dragged him on one of the late night talk shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I really liked that movie as like a documentary piece, and you know, James Franco I think did a really good job as Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, and it was funny. It was I laughed.
Oh, it was funny
watching it.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I would kind of say, and I kind of knew this going into it before, and now more so reading the book, The Disaster Artist, the movie kind of doesn't play up that Tommy Wiseau was not a nice guy.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah, I think maybe we're trying to like gloss it over a little bit, like with cinema.
Yeah,
because he's supposed to be kind of a sympathetic character in the movie, and like I guess maybe they were trying to play that up more. But like you've said it before, I don't really know. Like, what did he do that made him, like, being such a bad guy?
Just kind of a lot of stuff. There was the one scene, it did make it into the movie. He was very particular about some of the stuff, like, he would show up late to set a lot. I think, like, the first day, he didn't get to set until, like, casting call was at, like, 8 a.m., and he didn't get to set until noon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. And I think they touched on that in the movie. And then one of the famous ones is the first sex scene in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, and they did touch on this in the documentary, but first of all, apparently, I don't know too much about how Hollywood works, but apparently if you have nudity in a movie, you're supposed to do a closed set, or you're supposed to at least offer the actress to do a closed set.
And he didn't do that.
Yeah, and he just kind of didn't. He said, oh, no, we're doing this on an open set. And then they did touch on it in the movie, but he sees like a mole or a birthmark on her.
Yeah, I remember that from the movie.
Yeah, but I think it got kind of played down in the movie because he lost his freaking mind, apparently, according to the book.
Really?
And I've read the story before, and he like screamed at this girl. Yeah, just kind of stuff like that. And then also, I think they left it out of the movie, but he actually pretty much bribed Greg Sestero to do The Room.
Really?
He bought him a new car, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, no, they didn't say that. They didn't touch on that one.
Yeah, which they left that out. And I feel like because that was a big thing, at least from reading the book, The Disaster Artist, that almost seemed like a big reason for...
Why he did it?
Yeah, it was like a new car and an obscene amount of money, which I know they touch on in the movie.
Yeah, but like they also try and play up like that of their friends and stuff, which I guess is a
Yeah.
little less of a. If that's the case, it's not. I mean, they might be friends, but
They
at least
are
it's a little,
friends.
at least it's a little less of a. Seems like a little more. He was a little more personally motivated than that too.
Yeah, it does. From what I've seen, I've watched interviews with Greg Sestero before, and he's actually a pretty cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently him and Tommy are still friends. They do get along. Tommy was not a fan when the book released.
Right.
But, I mean, I wouldn't be either, probably.
Yeah.
And then there is...
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he didn't say... I mean, he kind of brought some things to life... he brought some things to light that I bet Tommy didn't want to hear.
Yeah. Well, and one thing that the movie completely glossed over that I thought was really interesting was actually in the first couple of chapters. So, originally, Mark, Oh Hi Mark, the character that Greg Sestero played, was supposed to be played by a different actor. Like, he had hired a different actor, and how can I kind of describe what happened? He had this second actor that originally was supposed to play Mark on set, and basically made this guy shoot all, because he didn't want to fire him without pretense and make people like suspicious.
Right.
So he basically had this guy do all of the scenes for Mark, and then would have Greg like reshoot them, and he's like, oh, Greg needs this to impress some producers for a TV show.
Huh.
Yeah, so he just basically had this guy like do all of these scenes because he didn't want to tell him he got fired. And then I don't think I've gotten exactly to where he got fired yet, but it looks like he just kind of made up a reason, or the guy like said something like, hey, how come we don't have water on set? Oh, that was another thing. He didn't allow his actors to have water on set.
Yeah, that was in the movie. I remember because like the one old lady passes out at that one point.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to if that actually happens in the book, but yeah, he basically like the guy who was originally supposed to play Mark asked like, oh, hey, how come we don't have water on set or something, and then Tommy like fires him for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a real sketchy thing, but it's a great book. If you are interested in the movie, read the book, I think.
Yeah, we can wrap this up and switch topics real quick.
Yeah, I've been rambling, so I think that's about all I had to say. Read the book. I'm very bad at reading, but it's nice to read. So enough about me though. What have you been up to this last week?
Oh boy, I've been really, really busy. Really, really, really busy. But I am on episode 8 of Megas Pride now, so I'm getting there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get it done like the next few days. But I really do like it. There's a lot of beautiful scenes in that anime. Yeah,
no, it's like I said, it's one of my favorites from last year, and it's if you at least get to episode 12, like the end of the first season. It's just the music in that show and some of
I think that's probably the thing I like the most about it is the music. I think the music is just really beautiful. It's a really beautiful soundtrack.
Yeah, no, it's so good, and then the imagery they put with it is so good.
Yeah,
so good.
A lot of vocal pieces too, which is not. I mean, like usually it's like the climax of the anime have like vocal pieces, but it's like every episode or two they like throw in some vocal stuff, and I think it's like, wow, this is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, no, and it's just a nice looking show too. Also, the main character, Chise, I just love her. She's precious.
She's great.
And her life sucks.
Yeah, her life blows. Everything sucks about her life, but she just keeps on going. I think that's kind of cool. The actual like Megas, he's interesting. I'm very interested.
Oh yeah.
Also, as somebody who likes that kind of that folklore, I'm definitely getting a lot out of that.
Yeah. Can you actually... So, I was looking at the Magus Elias. Do you think he's supposed to be a Nook Valley, I think they're called?
I don't know. I don't know what that is, actually. What is that?
Basically, it's kind of like the monster from the Season 4 Ruby finale that they fought.
Oh,
it's like a Nook Valley. It's like a bone horse with like a person on it, kind of.
I don't actually know. I'd have to look at it. I'd have to look that up because I don't think I've ever run into that.
Yeah.
Basically, everything I know about the folklore stuff is if you read the Dresden Files books and you like that kind of all that stuff, you'll get a kick out of this anime because like there's a lot of stuff in that is very similar to the folklore they bring up in the Dresden Files, which is a really good book series by Jim Butcher. So
yeah, but. No, like I said, I really, really like Ancient Magus Bride.
Very, very good show.
Yeah. I have gotten to episode 10 of Fate's Day Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Oh, awesome.
So I'll wait to talk on that once I finish it, because right now I'm a little. It's a safe show, but it's kind of boring.
Oh yeah, you're not enjoying it too much.
I kind of don't care about the characters, and it hasn't like made me yet. I think what's her name, Emiya, the one who is Archer's master, I really like, but
yeah,
like the main character is as bland as vanilla pudding served in cardboard.
Right. I mean, I think a lot of my impressions from the show come from like the quote unquote season 2, because like that's when the actual stuff happens. So a lot of it is. There's not a whole lot that happens in the first 12 episodes. After like re-looking through it, and then like
I
it's
might
like
check it out.
After the first 12 episodes, like everything just kind of goes like crazy, and that's like I thought that's probably where my impressions of it come from.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So, like I said, I'll probably finish it out, but yeah. I did bring up something that I think we can touch on. So when I mentioned the Nook Valley, Ruby, not to date this, but the Ruby season. What did they just finish? 6?
Season 5? I think it's 5.
Yeah, 5 or 6 that we just finished. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is 5. But we just finished season 5 of Ruby. Do we want to rant on Ruby for a bit?
Yeah. Can we rant about Ruby? I'm really excited to rant about Ruby because I have some opinions.
Oh my gosh!
This season. Wait, should we give like a little primer to those who aren't in the YouTube,
if you want to.
YouTube anime sphere.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead, I've been talking for too much of this episode.
Okay, yeah, but so Ruby is a show by Rooster Teeth. I mean, it still is Rooster Teeth, but it was originally like a YouTube-only show. Rooster Teeth, for those who don't know, are the guys who made Red vs. Blue, that popular Halo machinima, and some other stuff. But yeah, so they the person who did the fight scenes in Red vs. Blue wanted to make a quote-unquote anime, so he made Ruby, which is about like a bunch of people in a fantasy world. They fight monsters called Grimm. The name of the show is reference to the 4 main characters, Ruby, Weiss, Blake, and Yang.
They all have weapons. Every weapon's actually also a gun.
Every weapon is also a gun or some other kind of like... Every weapon can transform, which is kind of cool. Monty was rest in peace, but he was a very, very, very good fight choreographer. Yeah, no,
the fight scenes in that show are just, if you like watching like well choreographed fight scenes, they're great.
Yeah, and like the first 2 seasons, the model quality is not fantastic, but the fight scenes are still really, really good. So definitely recommend watching it. I think it's a very good show. But yeah, we could move on to season 5 of this show.
Yeah, well, I think we can kind of lead up to it a bit. So season 1 and 2 was these very, I almost feel like niche shows.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually started watching Ruby until about season 4. But no, season 1, because like you said, the models in season 1 are just downright ugly.
They're ugly. The backgrounds especially are terrible.
The backgrounds,
they're so bad.
Well, and like I can just tell you can tell it was like a lot of newer people, or like people, they didn't have a budget, because all the background characters, if they're not important, are just like silhouettes.
Yep.
And I actually found this out recently too. What they did is they took the model of actual characters and then silhouetted them out. So you can see like silhouettes that have Ruby's cape, you can see silhouettes that have Yang's hair, and it's oh man.
Yeah, I mean they did what they can. Obviously, it didn't have a huge budget back then. So I mean, 1, Rooster Teeth wasn't as big as it is now, and 2, it was kind of an unknown, I think, so like they didn't give Monty a huge budget.
Yeah, they were kind of taking a chance. No, so yeah, seasons 1 and 2, also like the pacing and plot in season 1 and 2 are just very...
Well, season 2 didn't have a plot, so I'm going to stop you there, because it is...
That's fair.
Season 2 happens.
Yeah, no, season 2 was happy, fun time, school time adventures.
Yeah, season 1 was a setup. Was pretty good setup. It had like this weird subplot about bullying, which I thought was kind of stupid. But
yeah, well, they had to just make Jean be Jean.
Yeah, they wanted to make him sympathetic. Season 2 was food fight. Jean in a dress. Let's have a dance party time. Fun times. I guess.
Season 2 is when Cinder Falls shows up.
Yeah, and she's important.
Cinder's cool.
She is cool.
Yeah.
I like Cinder. I mean, Cinder was in season. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
No, Cinder wasn't in season 1.
Yeah, no, that's when she. I don't remember.
She might have shown up like right at the end, kind of like Salem did.
Yeah, and she's cool. I mean, I think she definitely gets more in development in season 3, which is when the show gets good.
Yeah, by a country mile. And then it's at the end of season 3 that they introduce Salem.
Yeah, the very end of season 3 is literally like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll try and keep discussion on this spoiler free. There's not a ton of spoilers.
There's not a ton to spoil. Just know that if you can get through, if you like how fun it is, then season 2 you'll probably really enjoy season 2. But season 3 is when that story actually gets like interesting, like things actually happen.
Yeah, well, and I mean season 2 too. It's like not even 10 episodes long, and the episodes are like 6 or 7 minutes.
Right.
So it's really not too much to like worry about choking down. Like you can just force it.
Yeah, it's very you can watch all of it up to the end of season 3 in like 3 hours. It's not very long.
Yeah. No, so it's very digestible. But season 4, oh boy, season 4.
Season 4
is where I really liked that show.
Yeah, season 4 was really good. I really like season 4, though the pace does really slow down around season 4. I really like season 4 though. Like I think I remember talking to you about it like right after it happened, and then we were like, it was kind of slow. But then like after this season, I'm like, I actually really like season 4. It was a good season.
Oh, yeah, kind of. A season 4 for me, like I was just like, oh man, they better have these all pay up. Like all this like build up had better lead to a payout, you know. And then what else happened with season 4 that I just really took me a time to wrap my head around. I won't spoil it and say why, but the 4 members of Ruby all have their own separate adventures going on.
Yeah, and that is a big complaint that people had about the show at that point.
Yeah, so like the show, it just like everything takes longer than it needs to because we follow Blake for an episode, and then, you know, she gets an episode's worth of build up on her thing. And it felt like, because each character probably actually only has like 3 episodes worth of material in that season.
Yeah, I think especially they could have honestly cut most of Weiss's stuff, because like I think we get the picture. Her family's not great. I think that's
that's the message.
That's the whole message. Is like it just takes forever to get to the conclusion that we could figure out from the first episode.
Yeah. Honestly, too, I think I would have liked it a lot better if they released it as sub-volumes. So like, give me Weiss's whole adventure. Give me Yang's whole adventure, because Yang only had like 2 episodes.
Yeah, she wasn't in it for a whole lot. I mean, and what we got was pretty good, but like it was, she was definitely not the focus of that season. And honestly, they could have just cut all of Blake's stuff, because they did the exact same thing with her character in this season.
Yeah, but this season though, we can. So we can talk on season.
Dig into that one.
Oh, season 5. If like season 5 made season 4 worth it, because now everything pays off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so good.
Yeah, it's a good season. It's a safe season. I think they didn't take as many risks as I would have liked, but man, some of the actual like when you actually get to like the climax, like it is a good time.
Oh my gosh, some of those plot twists I did not see. The one big twist coming. I'm not going to say about who, but you know who I mean, right?
Yeah, I know who you mean. I didn't see that coming either.
Yeah, I did not see that twist coming, and I really liked it.
I also, the fight choreography was pretty good too. Like it was.
Oh, so good.
It was pretty good. Like considering that Monty is like he's not alive anymore, so like, you know, the main the main animator dies. Like that kind of would make the animations a little less. I mean, you can definitely tell in season 4 that they're not quite as good. But at the last few episodes of season 5, though, like they got whoever they got to replace him is definitely putting in good work.
Is it his brother? I want to say his brother. At least I think was handling the story.
Okay, yeah, I know Monty took a bunch of notes, so I don't know. Like I think the overarching plot is still the same as what he would have wanted.
Yeah. I don't know though. Monty, like I said, he did do all right with the story. This is actually one thing I just found out recently. So the world that they live in, Atlas is one of the countries. What's the world? The world of Remnant.
Yeah, Remnant.
Do you know how he came up with the shape of Remnant?
No.
It was a coffee stain on a napkin.
Really? That's
100% serious.
That's amazing.
He like set a coffee out on a napkin, saw it, and he's like, "Oh, perfect! This is the world that my characters will now live in
and
inhabit."
The most arty thing I've heard all day.
Yeah. But so it's kind of like stuff like that, and then like you said, the first couple seasons, it felt like he didn't want to do anything with the plot. He just kind of made these characters.
Yeah, like he designed these characters, and then he just wanted to make them fight. I think because like that is if you have ever followed Money and Monty stuff, like before he did the Red versus Blue stuff, he would just take existing characters and then just make them fight each other.
Yeah, he would just kind of death battle it.
Yeah, because like I think his most famous one was the Samus versus Master Chief fight, which I think is what got Rooster Teeth interested in making a Red versus Blue stuff with him, because like he was doing stuff with Master Chief, that's kind of their thing. So yeah, so like he would just make characters fight each other in like really crazy ways, and I thought that was just
yeah, no, it's great. Like I said, the fights in that show are just bliss, especially in this one.
Yeah,
I'll say they introduce a villain in season 4. His name is Hazel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give away anything about him, but he's just kind of this mystery for 2 seasons, up until the end of season 5, like the last 2 episodes. He finally fights, and boy howdy was it cool.
Yeah, he's cool. I think his reveal, like the stuff about his character, was a little less mysterious than I was hoping for, but it was, he was cool. I like his ability. I like his ability.
Cool. I like his design. Yeah, but like you said, his reveal was a little meh, and like his justification, I feel like.
Yeah, like they kind of just gloss over a lot of his like stuff. I feel like they could have foreshadowed a little better, because like it's just like he just like says it in like a sentence. It's like, blah 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 happened in my past, and I'm angry about it, and that's his whole character. It's like,
yeah.
But I mean, but he's cool though. Like I don't hate him. I just think that maybe they could have sprinkled out a little more of that into season 4.
Or like something more dramatic than what it was. Because even after hearing his reasoning, it felt like weak. And I was so excited for that one. But there's also I don't know. Like I think you talked about it in season 4. They introduced this whole like giant evil circle.
Yeah,
basically
the League of Villains sort of thing. In season 4.
And I know you're all about like the League of Villains.
Oh, I love that. I know it's tropey as hell. It's super tropey, kind of stupid most of the time. But man, I get so excited when I see that in shows.
Yeah. Well, and also I just found this out recently. The one character, I can't even remember his name because he hasn't done anything on the Evil Council. The Doctor.
Oh yeah.
That is. Oh shit, what's his name? Chris Sabat.
I knew that. Yeah, I think I saw it once at the end of the credit, and I was like, really?
Yeah, he's just in it, and that show also. I don't know like how they got Vic Mignogna to voice Crow in that show, but apparently Vic Mignogna just is available.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was a fan of the show before season 3.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, because Crow shows up
in season 3.
Yeah, he doesn't show up
beginning
until
of season 3. I think they talk about him in season 2.
Yeah, they mention him. Apparently, he actually does like a lot of voice work. He was in a Christian rock band.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool. I always like seeing the voice actor stuff, though. I swear to God, if I hear Matt Mercer is in one more goddamn thing, I love Matt Mercer, but man,
calm down, Matt Mercer.
He is in everything. He's in literally everything. Find something. Matt Mercer's in it somewhere.
Just shows up. No, I mean that's how it is with a lot of the, especially like I know they have other like bodies of work, but the anime voice actors for English are just in so many of the same things.
Yeah, they all like it seems like they like pick like the same 10 voice actors to just be in everything. It seems like. Yeah,
well, because you got Chris Sabat can voice anything, All Might, Piccolo, Alex Louise Armstrong.
Yep.
No, so getting back to Ruby, as much as we had our little voice actor tangent. I don't know if you had any other things you want to talk about this season. I just love the fact that Yang was in this season. Yang is
I like the fact that she is in it a lot. I think that's pretty cool. I think the stuff with her family is pretty interesting because she's Crow and
she's Ruby's sister and Crow's niece.
She's Ruby's half-sister. She's Ruby's half-sister.
Half-sister, yeah. And you meet their dad, Tai?
Yeah, Tai. And then, and I guess Crow and Yang's mom, I guess, they're in it a lot.
Yeah, and that's that's a cool character. I like Yang's mom. I can't remember her name. Shit.
Yeah, I know. I feel
it's
like
not just
Raven,
Raven.
I feel like I should remember that. What?
Is it not just Raven?
It might be Raven.
I think it just is because it's Crow and Raven.
Mm-hmm.
So creative.
very creative, especially considering.
Yeah. I don't know if we wanted to touch on anything else. Oh, I did have one more thing I was going to tell you about. I did, Season 5 did change one thing with Ruby for me. So the place of best girl belongs to Yang.
Yes, the all-important best girl ranking, of course.
Yeah, this place of second best girl still belongs to, Velvetina, the rabbit. The rabbit faunus. Because she's got cute little bunny ears. Yeah, and also her semblance was the coolest.
It was, the reveal of her semblance was pretty sick.
Yeah, but third place best girl got shifted up, and I gotta say, man, I really, really like Weiss after this season.
Yeah, you were saying that. I'm still not a huge fan of Weiss, but
they made her significantly less of a cunt.
Yeah, she was not nearly as unbearable this season.
Yeah.
It feels like she actually learned some stuff. I still don't love her, but, that's okay. My ranking is currently Blake and Pyra.
Ugh, Blake.
Not Blake, sorry, Yang Pyra.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
Not Blake. Blake is in there. She's the bottom, though.
Nah, Blake's bottom barrel.
Yeah, she's fourth best, obviously.
Fourth best?
Yeah, fourth best. I like her more than Weiss.
Oh wait, you're just talking of the Team Ruby girls.
Of like the main characters, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Pyra is not Team Ruby, but
No, fuck it. I'm putting Nora over her. I'm putting Lai Ren over her.
Tyrion is best girl, obviously. I just like Scorpion boys, man. Like they just...
Yeah, gotta give me my Scorpy boys. We've got a couple more minutes to fill, so I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to say.
Yeah, I guess if I had to bring up some games I've been playing, I've been playing Stardew Valley again because we talked about it that one time.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, because I never beat it, and the second playthrough is going way better. It is way better than last playthrough because I actually know what I'm doing a little bit.
Yeah, you just kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah, like, I actually can plan out my days better and, like, in-game, because, like, before I would just kind of do whatever I wanted, and I got to, like, the end of the first year, and I'm like, well, I don't have a coop, and I don't have anything. I still got, like, a little dinky farm, and I haven't even cleared up the rest of it, and it's like, yeah. I literally finished nothing by the end of the first year, and that's why I stopped playing, because I was just like, I didn't feel like I was doing anything. And then this year, I'm like, okay, today I gotta get 100 stone, 400 wood, gotta get ready, gotta get my money, gotta get...
No, that game is so distractible. So yeah. I totally get it, yeah. No, I love it.
Yeah, it's a great game. I really like that game. Considering I've never played any of the Harvest Moon games, I think that game is real good.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as Harvest Moon games go, the only two that I think are worth playing, or the only two that I played were... I think Friends of Mineral Town on the Game Boy Advance, and I broke the shit out of that game. That game is probably the game I've played more than anything else in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played It's a Wonderful Life on the GameCube, which is not the best Harvest Moon.
It's not a wonderful life?
It's not a wonderful life.
Oh,
it is a wonderful life. It's also point of contention on that Harvest Moon. You die, like, after, I think, like, 5 or 10 years of the game.
That's sad. That's a little messed up.
Yeah, well, because it's like split into phases, and it's one of the Harvest Moons that they force you to get married by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, even if like that wasn't your focus.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, you have to get married, and there's also there's not a ton of characters in it. There's like 3 options of people to marry. And most of them suck. I think there was a redhead named Nami, and she's just clearly the best because
Obviously.
Yeah, but no, way to hop back on the Stardew Valley train.
Yep, I got a mod that makes it so you can, if you open your map, you can see where all the characters are, and that just changed the game.
Oh, man,
the game has changed.
You have to learn their schedules, man.
Nah.
Casual.
Whatever.
No, it's alright. Get back in the swing of it. Don't get too burned out, because multiplayer's coming soon, and we gotta open that farm.
Oh, yeah, Trob and me need to start our Taiwanese fish farm. Very important.
Can I come too? Take me with you.
Sure.
Tell you what, I'll be on the Taiwanese fish farm. I will plant 1 patch of radishes.
There we go. Just every day. You just plant it, then you dig it up. You don't even let it grow. You just replant it every single day.
Perfect plan. Yeah. No, all right.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. I guess before we close the episode, I just wanted to mention the fact, just because I don't know if everybody doesn't know it, doesn't know like the thing about it, but I have been watching a lot of speedruns, tons and tons of speedruns, because we had AGDQ just like the past. I guess when this podcast comes up, it'll be like a few weeks old at this point. But I would definitely suggest going and watching those, because man, speedruns are a lot of fun to watch, especially if you like watching your favorite games just get completely busted open.
Yeah, I know that Super Mario Odyssey has been a big speedrun.
Yeah, that one apparently like people really like that game for speedrunning. I haven't actually seen that speedrun of that game, but
I mean, I've seen Donkey's video on speedrunning.
Yes.
Almost got through an episode without mentioning Donkey.
Aha.
But yeah, no. So check out speedruns too.
Yeah, check out. Just go to the AGDQ. And the one that I think mandatory, if you're a true dumpster goblin, you have to watch the Skyrim the Skyrim speedrun from this year, because man, that game is a beautiful, beautiful mess, and Todd Howard is a beautiful man who made a beautiful, horrible mess game. I hope you're listening, Todd. I hope you're listening. Skyrim is a terrible mess game.
Beautiful.
You can clip through walls by running at them with plate stand. That is
I do know that
thing.
Plates are like...
And buckets. It's sometimes if you just walk at walls too fast, the game just gets confused and you clip through them.
Yeah.
And I like to imagine that Todd Howard put it in the code that if run at wall, then clip is an actual thing in the code, and Toddy Boy put it there himself.
I believe it.
That's all I really wanted to bring up, because I love speedruns. Speedruns are fun.
Nah, neat. Yeah, I haven't gotten too much into it, but cool. Yeah, so I think we can call this
we can call it a day, and then next week we can bring up the bad shows. I think that'll be exciting.
Yeah. Well, I think next week we can bring up the good and the bad, because I should be able to finish.
Yeah, I'll be done I'll be done with Mega's Pride by then, and I will have started Big Mouth, and I want to hear your opinions on Berserk, because man, oh boy, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit, fam.
Faux show. Yeah. Anyway, I think that about wraps us up for the week. So, as always, I'm Trey.
I'm Dan.
Yep, and you guys are all dumpster goblins. Good night.
Yeah.